I got Brandon Wilson from American Honda. I just messed up. Director of Racing and Advertising. Manager of Racing.
Yes.
Manage a lot of things.
Yes.
Reason I want to talk to you is a lot of people were involved, but I know you had a major hand in basically sort of salvaging Honda's Racing 250 program when, sadly, the Factory Connection Geico program went away. You guys kind of moved to heaven and earth to bring Hunter and Jet in-house, and we saw that success story. Seeing the second chapter of it, I thought was really cool. I told us to Chance, like, you know, the Lawrences left very big shoes to fill in the 250 class. You guys definitely believe in Chance, of course, and in Joe, and they've shown flashes, but to see them both on the podium this weekend, I mean, it's both their first years taking the reins. Would you say it's come about what you guys expect, or a little quicker? I think they're doing a good job.
It's wild. I think when you look at Chance, the way that we brought him in, you know, we really didn't have an amateur program, especially in-house, and it just turned into one of those situations where it made sense to really just try to do something and have some patience with it. So, you know, we brought him in as an amateur, did, you know, a handful of races here and there, was still doing, you know, works racing, things like that. And it was really just, let's really slowly grow, you know, his skill set. And it's been really fun to see him now, you know, come to where we thought he'd be. And I would say, to me, I've told them that he's a tiny bit ahead of schedule maybe from where I thought it'd be. And then obviously it was great to be able to bring, you know, Joe back, because when the Geico team went away, it was really tough to pick at that particular time, you know, whom all to bring over. And it was really hard, really just put it together, period. We had a really short amount of time to bring an entire 250 team in-house, which we hadn't had for years. And, you know, did it over the course of a couple months, and then went racing, and obviously with Jet and Hunter have been super successful. But, you know, at that time we weren't able to bring Joe over, and then everything worked out to where we were able to bring him over this year. It's taken him a little bit of time to get used to it in the change, but I think everybody can see that he's coming on strong right now. So, again, I think we're maybe a tiny bit ahead of schedule in some spots, but I think just as a whole, it's been really cool to see the team come together, and I think it's not just helped the 250 program, it helps the 450 program too, having all of that group together and kind of working together on everything.
I was going to say maybe touch even on how the 450 program has developed. Of course, it is obvious, you know, you guys were able to retain Jet and Hunter and ultimately bring them through. But kind of from what I know of how the program came together, that's not the only reason of success. People look at like, oh, they bought the best guys in the class. It is what it is. But the 250 program, you guys had a lot of say-so over. You brought a lot of people in. It was, you know, you had Japan's input, but the 250 program also ran very on its own independently with less oversight. And I know because everybody who's in top management got to see that work, a lot of that's drifted into the 450 program now.
Yeah, it was, what I thought was really nice about it is it gave us an opportunity to do a little bit more of the development on our own on the 250s. Maybe get a little bit crazier than we would on the 450s, because you have to by nature on those bikes. And having that kind of push and pull between getting really crazy on a 250 and then also, you know, working the 450 program to just kind of keep growing it, maybe have a little bit of that same mindset that you have on the 250, but then, you know, just pull it back a little bit, because you don't really need to look for as much power, things like that. But by proving ourselves really, you know, with Japan more, everything else, with what we did on the 250, it also, I think, gave a little bit more leniency on the 450 for us to really work with them, I think, really well as partners, you know, so we were really developing the bike more as partners rather than just kind of hoping that they'd do it for us. So it's worked really well, obviously.
And then last one, touching on Chance. So it's really cool to hear you say, like, it's ahead of schedule. I've joked with Chance about this, actually. I was walking the fence line at Fox, and I overheard. You overhear funny things walking the fence line. I heard somebody point out Chance go jump, like, oh, his deal's up with Honda. They're going to go get somebody else. Why would they keep him? And I spun around. I was kind of like, oh, you. I told the guy, I'm like, please explain to me why you think this.
Right.
And I gave my 2 or 3 cents input, more than my 1 cent input on this one. But I was kind of like, look, you got to understand some things. But I get from the outside looking in, people think HRC. They think, you know, they saw what the Lawrence did, so there's a certain just expectation.
Sure.
Chance is definitely delivered now. I know his deal was up. It sounds like there's probably been a re-up on that, which is nice. So, I mean, Joe and Chance both are with you more longer term now, and they're rewarding you guys in turn for that faith in them.
Yeah, I think, you know, with Chance, the biggest thing from the very beginning has just been patience. That's what I tried to push with the family, with him. And I mean, I remember many lunches together before we put his amateur deal together, right in Torrance. And that's really what it was about. It wasn't, okay, we need you to go win straight away. It's like, let's just get a bunch of track time, slowly but surely get better, and then when it's time, we go. And yeah, I think, Supercross this year didn't go as well for him as he'd hoped, and for sure, I think that, certainly bothered him. And then as we came into outdoors right away, you could tell that everything's really clicking, and again, it's one of those things where you just have to be there. I think in this sport, there's a lot of kids that come up young, a little inexperienced, and can kind of wash themselves out right away if they think they've got to try to go and win right away. So we've really just pushed on, no, just do your thing, keep going. And now obviously the pressure will keep going up that he'll put on himself because of all the good results he's had, but he's shown that he can take it.
I guess one more thing actually would be also commenting on Chance's, how the Lawrences, the family, the facility, the operation they put together on their side, how it's become such an extension of you guys, because it's even shown with Chance. Chance, everybody knows he rides there, but
sure.
If you went there day to day, like how integrated he is. I mean, he's like the fourth brother they don't have basically in the group. I joke with him, I think Jet's more excited when he wins than when,
sure.
well, at least that's how Jet looked at Hyper at Thunder Valley when he won that moto.
Yeah.
You just walk by, you're good. We're talking
We're
about
just talking
you.
about you,
We're
Chance.
talking about you, all good things. But no, that like the proof's in the pudding. It doesn't just work for them. That whole program is integrated so uniquely.
Yeah, it's really good. And I mean, I think I'd say that we've had a pretty good thing together for maybe longer than it's looked results-wise. Again, you'd sort of brought it up a little bit earlier. It wasn't, just bringing the Lawrences in, everything else. It's been a very long-term kind of project, getting everything back to where we wanted it to be. And then, when Jet and Hunter came over, and you go and you see Darren and everybody at the farm and the way that they work together, and it's literally, it is like almost an extension of the team. I mean, Darren pushes everybody, us pushes the boys, and it really is just one of those programs where we all listen to each other, we all treat each other like family, and we're always just trying to be better. And having all those guys together doing it, between the three of them riding there, they're always able to talk to each other, learn from one another. They're not trying to be all secretive, everything else, and that's what we really want is the ability to make everybody better on the team, and then they can battle it out, between the two, like we saw with some of the guys today.